just got this guy through, and this has got to be perhaps the grottiest Boglin I've ever come across. Look at this thing. This is absolutely manky. It is disgusting how dirty this is. We have a look at this. There's the colour he should be in there. That's what colour this whole thing should be. But look at it. Look how thick with dirt this is. It is disgusting. It's almost black. In fact, look, his nose is black. It is not at all anywhere near this colour, which is what it's supposed to be. Look at him. He is so manky. It is disgusting. Look, even this is not the colour it's supposed to be. There's what colour it should be. Look at that. It's horrible. Oh, thankfully, I got this guy really quite cheap. Cost me about £7, this one. But he's going to need a lot of work because he's horrible looking. The answer? Flash Multi-Purpose Ultra Power Gel. Apparently this stuff is really good for cleaning Boglins. I really hope it is, because this guy needs some serious cleaning. Let's see how it goes. Okay, the first step in trying to bring this, look, there's even dog hair on here. Oh, yuck. Right, well, the first step in bringing this, any chance of bringing this guy back to life, is to take it off his arms. So what I'm going to do is, inside there is a connector here, and I'm just going to hold both parts that connect his arm, and I'm just pulling gently, and that just comes off like that. And I can take off the other one. There's one arm off, and then I'm going to do exactly the same with the other one. So I'm just going to hold this connector, this piece here. Inside there's the connector, and I'm going to grip it, and I'm going to pull, and that's come off, and take that out there. And there's one arm. So I've got two connectors like this. This piece here inside, you can see just, oh, yuck. And he's got his two arms here. Again, hopefully by the time I finish cleaning it, that colour there, which is obviously where it's been unexposed to dirt, and there's been no dirt on it, that is what colour he should be. Look at that. Look at the colour difference. That's just not right. That's, oh, horrible. Right, they're off. I could take the tail off as well. Let's see if I can get this tail off carefully too. I'm going to do the same thing. Don't suppose I really need to take the tail off. There we go. Tail off. Big one there. But I'm not going to do anything with the eye circuitry. Well, it's not circuitry, is it? Eye mechanism there. I'm going to leave the eye mechanism exactly as it is in there. Arms and tail off. Look at the colour difference. Oh! Right. We need some serious cleaning. Right, let's see how this goes. Just going to get a sponge, I'm going to wet it. Oh, I think for this we're going to need the scouring side, because frankly it needs a lot of work. and I'm going to scrub it with this Flash Ultra Power gel stuff, and hopefully we're going to get some of this horrible muck off. I think we're going to have to really work it in to get some of this off. I'm just doing this forearm piece at the moment. I suspect I'm going to be here a very long time. Right, well that's one arm scrubbed, and look at the difference straight away. There's still a lot of the original paint colour here, but look, it's kind of a green colour rather than a black colour. So it is so much better. Look at this though, that's quite sad. It's got a tear here. I'm going to have to repair that, but hopefully bit of super glue will sort that right out. But just that colour difference is phenomenal. Look at that. These two. Look at the colour difference. This is amazing. I love this. Look at that difference. Here we have the finished tail. I've just cleaned that with the Flash, and you can see here the colour difference between the dirty bit here that's still really grotty, that I haven't cleaned this at all. The colour difference between here and here is quite clear. You can see it's nice and clean there compared to everywhere else. So I think this is going to turn out quite nicely when it's done. There's a couple of bits on the tail around here where it's a little bit bobbly or ripped there, and there's a definite rip in the tail here that we're going to have a look at repairing, but that should clear up, or rather I should be able to glue that, and that should be okay. So next is on to cleaning up this disgusting grubby main body here, and hopefully be able to see that this will look much better when it's done. Okay, so now I've finished cleaning it, it's time to actually do some repairs on this Boglin. So what I'm going to start with is some super glue. Now this stuff is actually really good at sorting out these little rips and tears. Now there's a small hole here, so I'm going to put a bit of glue in there. Because they're not bad, these holes, but I don't want them to get worse. I'm just going to dab off any excess with my cloth here. And the actual rubber or latex or whatever magical substance these Boglins are made out of, they stick really well with super glue. You can see that's held really quick and it sticks to itself really well. And got another little one here. So I'm going to put spots of glue in here. I'm going to stick that down, dab off any excess that might come out, and that's pretty much healed and invisible. Now that side's okay, but this side's got quite a bad rip in it here, so I'm going to put quite a bit in here, but I don't want to put too much in that will make it kind of hard when it's dry, but enough to fill that. Then I'm going to press that together, dab off any excess, just putting a little bit of colour from the blue disposable cloth there. I don't really want doing that, but I can always try and clean that off later if necessary. But that rip there, that was pretty bad before, look, it's completely healed and you cannot see that at all. This arm, it's okay up here, but this split between the fingers is pretty bad, so that's definitely going to need glue. But in here, just along this split edge, and make sure that that gets carefully glued back together there like that. Dabbing off excess. Oh, watch it doesn't stick to my fingers. Pressing that together a little bit more. Oh. Again. Make sure that's nice and stuck there. A little bit here that's not completely glued. Glue that there. Get rid of some of that excess. And that is pretty secure there, and it won't rip at all. And that arm now is ready to go back on as well. Okay, he's looking good now. Much cleaner, but I think inside the mouth is really letting him down. Look at all this paint loss here. And I never like that they do this with the back of the teeth, but I think we can do much better than that and get him looking really back to almost new. Let's see what we can do. So, looking at the colours there, this pink's a really vibrant pink, and given the colours that I've got, I'm going to go for this Citadel Emperor's Children, and I'm going to mix that a bit with Dwarf Flesh. Now sadly this particular colour is out of production, it's not made anymore, but those two mixed together should give me a colour that's quite close to that. Hopefully exact if I can. Take some of this. Mix some of this pink, very vibrant pink here. It's far too pink to be a match to the mouth. And we're going to tone it down a bit with some of this Citadel Dwarf Flesh. Say, it's unfortunate this particular colour doesn't really exist anymore. Let's have a look at that. That's probably not bright enough anymore. Let's bring him in. Let's see how that compares to what's there. It's pretty close, but I think it needs a bit more vibrancy to it. So I'm going to add a bit more of the Emperor's Children, just to make it a bit more of a vibrant pink colour. We want this to match as best as possible. Mix that up, and secret to painting these is not to do it too thick. That's a better colour match. if I put it on too thick, it will split, go everywhere. So I want to put some on and then dab it in, and that will help it match in with the paint that's already there, and it will also make sure that it doesn't go on too thick and split when this moves around. We want paint layers to be quite thin. Dabbing it on, letting it dry. Now where possible, I want to preserve the original colour where I absolutely can, not just paint over the top of that with a new colour. Sometimes you need to paint over it a little bit in order to blend those together better. And I'm going to keep going with this until I've done the whole of the inside of the mouth. And that's the pink finished now. You can see it's all managed to get that all back in there. So it's looking much, much fresher, much nicer. I had to go over the top of the teeth in pink there, but we're going to paint them back in the colour that they were, which is pretty much white. But you find with most things that white is not the best colour. So I'm going to add a tiny little bit of beige to this. I'm going to get my white, mix this up, get rid of that, mix up some white here. Don't need an awful lot for this. Once the white's on, stick that in the water, clean that later. I'm going to get a little bit of beige, too much, just a bit, just to offset the white slightly, so it's not a pure white, because nothing ever really is, and especially on a Boglin, it's not going to have pure white teeth. So I'm going to do that, move these out of the way. These are just Revel aqua colours. Clean this off slightly, and in fact I'm going to use a smaller brush for this, just so we can get it nice and neat. And I'm going to go back in here, and I'm going to paint these teeth back in the colour that they should be, and I'm going to call that done. Let's see, teeth nice and crisp, good edges that are not too hard, and I think that work out nicely. Now next step is to put the arms and the tail back on, and he should be done. And that's the new and improved Boglin ready and finished. Just a bit of Flash multi-surface ultra power gel, and he is nice and clean. All of that dirt and gunk has come off, all of the repairs have been made, any little rips in his fingers, all of that's been repaired. Mouth has been painted up, so it's nice and fresh. Eye mechanism works nicely, and he is ready to join the rest of the other Boglins. And in fact, I don't know what it is about this particular one, but he actually smells amazing. Nothing to do with the flash, but the rubber on this one, unlike some of the other Boglins I've got, it's just got such a great smell. Anyway, less said about that the better probably. But he is done and ready to go on the shelf with his brothers and sisters.